Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's go ahead and get right on into it here. As you can see, we got some severe weather to deal with today from Nevada on over into Utah up into Montana, and this also includes parts of Arizona, North Carolina, and parts of Virginia as well. The main threat today is mainly going to be damaging winds. As you can see, there's a 15% chance over here in the slight risk zone and a 5% chance within all the marginal risk zones. Now, I would expect upwards of 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts within the marginal risk zones and upwards of 60 mile an hour within the slight risk zone today. Now, the timing, I would expect that to occur during the late evening into overnight hours within all the zones, so please be aware that power outages could occur tonight, and make sure that if you have anything you don't want blowing around, make sure you put that up as well. Now, there is no tornado threat or hail threat, so that is some good news today. Now, as we move off into Friday, good old Friday, we can see that there is a couple marginal risk zones, one over here from Wyoming on over into South Dakota and parts of Nebraska, and another one over here in eastern North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. Now, there is no tornado threat tomorrow, which is some good news, but there is a damaging wind and a small, large hail threat, mainly over here in North Dakota and Minnesota. Now, again, tomorrow is going to be a late evening and overnight event with upwards of 60 mile an hour wind gusts possible. So make sure, again, just like here on Thursday, to put up anything you don't want blowing around, and be aware that power outages could occur. And please make sure to put up anything you don't want damage from large hail as well over here in North Dakota and parts of Minnesota. Now, as we move off into good old Saturday, it's looking like some weekend plans could get ruined as a marginal risk has been issued from Nebraska on up into Minnesota. Now, keep in mind, we do not know what the main hazards are just yet, but go follow my X and Facebook pages as I do daily weather updates on there. So again, go follow those so you are updated on what the risks will be. Now, we will get into the timing, so make sure you keep on watching, y'all. As we take a look at the 4 to 8 day outlook, we can see that there is no risks of some severe weather. So it looks like severe weather is starting to wind down for the season, y'all. Now, other than severe weather, we do got some flooding to deal with as a moderate risk has been issued down here from southeastern Texas on over into Louisiana with a slight risk which extends all the way up into Mississippi, and this also includes much of the Carolinas as well. We move off into Friday, we got another slight risk in the Carolinas and really marginal risk for much of the country. Take a look at Saturday, looks like some major flooding is going to be occurring yet again as we take a look at how much rainfall we could be getting in on. It's looking like we could be getting in on upwards of 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts possible within the moderate risk for flooding zone down here in southeastern Texas into Louisiana. And of course, within the slight risk areas, I would expect upwards of 1 to 3 inches. So definitely, please make sure for the next few days that if you see a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown. And if you live in a low-lying area, please be aware of this. So now that we know there's going to be some severe weather and flooding to deal with for the next few days, let's go ahead and take a look at the timing for Saturday's severe weather risk, as there is a marginal risk which extends from Nebraska up into Minnesota. Now, take a look at the timing. We're going to take a look at the lightning flash density right now. This don't show us the exact timing, but it shows us a rough estimate of when y'all could expect the worst of severe weather. So push this forward. Looking like this is going to be another late evening into overnight event. Seems like majority of the severe weather this year has been a late evening into overnight event. Now keep in mind, we don't know what the hazards are just yet, but again, go follow my X and Facebook pages as I will keep you all informed on there. Now as we take a look at the tropics here on the National Hurricane Center, we can see that there is no tropical storm activity expected within the next 48 hours in the Atlantic, but in the Eastern Pacific, we do have what is now Tropical Storm Bud, not expected to affect the homeland any or even Mexico. Could cause some storm surge or high surf out there. Be aware of that. And as we take a look at the Central Pacific, not much going on out there either, except for Bud, which could actually cause some problems, but not really worried about it. Now, the reason why I'm not too worried about Tropical Storm Bud affecting Hawaii mainly is because it's going to turn into a tropical depression as we head into the 27th, and it's going to just mainly turn into a big old rainstorm. I would expect probably heavy rainfall to occur next week from this. So be aware of that if you are taking a vacation down to Hawaii or you actually live down there in Hawaii. Now, today I would expect probably just storm surge if you live over here in western Mexico, so be aware of that. As we take a look at the satellite of Bud, we can see it's out there just churning along and doing the spin-a-rooney with 60-mile-an-hour winds with 75-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So definitely a good thing it's not affecting the homeland, because it would be causing some major problems. Now, as y'all may know, we are expecting a pretty big hurricane season. If you haven't checked out my hurricane forecast video, please do so. As we can see, the sea surface temperatures are going to be boiling as we head into the end of July and into August. This is going to be a prime month for hurricane development. Take a look at the Pacific. We can see that the oceans are boiling out there as well. And as we take a look at the Euro to see if any sort of tropical storms or hurricanes are going to affect us in the near term, we already know the next 48 hours, really not much is expected in the Atlantic. And it's really nothing is expected really for the next couple of weeks. We may have something down here in the Caribbean by the time August gets here, but this is well over 200 some hours out, so keep that in mind. As we take a look at the Pacific, we already know that Bud is out there doing the spinneroonie, and it's going to affect Hawaii later on next week. Going to be bringing some heavy rainfall y'all's way. But really not much is expected, really, so that's some good news. So let's go ahead and get into what y'all came here for, which is, are we going to be coming in on some actual drought relief out here amongst the eastern half of the country? And really, it's looking like we could be coming in on some sort of drought relief as we head towards the end of the month. By the time 28th gets here, it's looking like some heavy rainfall is going to be possible amongst the eastern half of the country. And the western half of the country is looking to be pretty darn dry. Could come out on some severe weather by the 31st. Could use some rain down here by the Boot Hill of Missouri. And it's looking like more sogginess is going to be in store out east. And looks like we could be heading into a stormy pattern as we head into August as well. But definitely some drought relief could be in store. As we take a look at the drought map, we can see that much of the country is going to be pretty darn dry, especially out east. Take a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. We can see that really much of the country is going to be below average, except for out east. Come in on some drought relief, as well as up here in the northwest. Take a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. Looks like much of the country is going to be heading to a below average to near normal pattern, except for down here by Florida and down here by California. As we take a look at the temperatures, we know we have been sort of cool as of late, but don't get fooled though, because we are still in summertime, y'all. Summertime heat is expected to return as we head towards the beginning of August. You can see 100-degree temperatures as far north as Nebraska. And really much of the country is going to be feeling a major heat wave as you head further and further towards the end of the month and into the beginning of August. Take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We can see just that. Much of the country is going to be above average. Next 8 to 14 days, really no relief from the major heat wave. So unfortunately, some bad news if you don't like the heat. Hopefully y'all got out there and enjoyed those nice cool temperatures while they lasted, because unfortunately, summertime's not over yet, y'all. Fall will be here before you know it. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, with bell notifications turned on so you never miss an upload, because at Here at Wins Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. Also, leave us some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Again, it's looking like a hot and sort of soggy weather pattern is going to be in store out east, while the western half of the country is still going to be experiencing some dry conditions. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all for watching. Until next time, never stop forecasting.